Jennifer,
Yes.
do we have quorum?
We do. With you all here presently and also with the folks on Zoom, we do have a quorum currently.
Okay, so it's about 3 p.m. And I would like to call to order the regular meeting of the San Bernardino International Airport Authority. Today is Wednesday, March the 23rd, 2022, and it is approximately 3 p.m. Madam Clerk, would you please do a roll call?
Member McCallum, we would actually need you up on the dais. She did confirm. She did confirm, yes. Alrighty, members from the City of Colton.
Frank Navarro.
Dr. G is here.
Thank you very much. Member from the County of San Bernardino, 5th District.
Joe Baca Jr. present.
Thank you very much. Member from the City of Highland.
Larry McCallum.
Thank you. And members from the City of San Bernardino.
John Valdivia.
Juan Figueroa.
And Member Charette, you are muted.
Yes, I'm here as an alternate.
All right, thank you very much. And for the record, Member Lilburn just joined us as a primary member.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, do we have any public comment on closed session items?
I do not have any public comments in front of me, and I do not see anybody approaching the dais, so no, we do not.
Thank you very much. Legal counsel, would you please read us into closed session this afternoon?
Certainly, Mr. Mayor. For closed session, the Commission will conference with legal counsel pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9, subsection D, subsection 2, regarding significant exposure to litigation. And the case is Center for Community Action versus FAA, as well as State of California versus FAA. And item number 2 is conference with real property negotiators pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.8. The property is approximately 32 acres of vacant land located at the west portion of SBD International Airport, north of Central Avenue. Negotiating parties Mike Burrows, SBIAA Chief Executive Officer, and Dan Auding, Principal of Fleet Yards Incorporated. Those are the only 2 items we have for closed session.
Thank you very much. We will now recess into closed session and reconvene at approximately 40 minutes. Okay. We will now reconvene. We will now reconvene our meeting, and I would ask our attorney to read us out of closed session, please.
Mr. Mayor, as to all items in closed session, there is no reportable action taken.
Okay. Now I'm going to call to order the open session of the San Bernardino International Airport Authority. Today is March the 23rd, 2022, and it is approximately 3:34 p.m. Madam Clerk, would you please do a roll call again, please?
Yes, certainly. Please state your names for the record. Members from the City of Colton.
Frank Navarro.
Thank you.
Dr. G is here.
Thank you very much. Members from the City of Loma Linda.
Dusty Rigsby.
Thank you. Member from the County of San Bernardino, 5th District.
Supervisor Baca present.
Thank you. Member from the City of Highland.
Penny Lilburn with Mayor Larry McCallum in the audience.
Thank you. And members from the City of San Bernardino.
John Valdivia.
Juan Figueroa.
And alternate, Fred Charette.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. At this time, I would like to ask Supervisor Baca to lead us in the pledge, please. Thank you, Supervisor. Are there any items to be added or deleted to today's agenda?
Yes, Mayor. Embarking, apart from normal tradition, we are requesting 2 items. The first is an informational item, but I wanted to give proper due to a pretty unique program here at the airport that one of our long-term tenants has done. And then we're requesting on the open session, adding an item for a resolution on a federal funding opportunity, if it pleases the commission.
Okay, thank you. Item F, conflict of interest disclosure. Any members in the commission wishing to disclose conflicts?
Oh, excuse me, I believe we need a motion to add the items, correct?
Oh, okay. Chair will entertain a motion to add items 2D and item 26.
Supervisor Baca motions to add them to the agenda.
Second.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me call the vote, please.
Yes. Please state your vote for the record. Member Navarro,
Yes.
Member Rigsby,
Yes.
Member Baca,
Baca, aye.
Member Lilburn,
Yes.
Member Valdivia,
Yes.
and Member Figueroa.
Yes.
Thank you. The items are added unanimously.
Thank you. Now we can move on to conflict of interest disclosure. Seeing none or hearing none, we'll move on to item G, informational items. These are solely information items from our Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Burrows.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I want to, if it pleases the commission, I'd like to move D to the front because we have some distinguished friends in the audience that would like to give you an update on a very exciting program that they have worked very hard to put together. And it's certainly near and dear to the hearts here of our aircraft maintenance and aviation community. So I'd like to start by introducing Mr. Paul Oliver. He is the president of Certified Aviation Services, and he is joined by distinguished friends from San Bernardino Valley College. And I'd like Paul to come forward if he would. If you would, sir. So CAS is a long-term tenant of ours and a good friend of the airport. So welcome.
Thank you, Mike. Mr. Mayor, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, it's really a pleasure to be here, and thank you very much for the invitation to share a few words about the apprenticeship scheme which we've embarked on. But first, I'm going to say a few words about us and our company. I'm the President and Chief Operating Officer of Certified Aviation Services, and I'm here with David Brown and Caitlin Romano from our company. And Certified Aviation Services is a company that does worldwide maintenance and repair. And like a lot of companies, we suffered a lot of the issues in COVID, and we diversified and we brought in a lot of extra business, and we've got a big operation here in San Bernardino. We also have a worldwide Go team which does repair and recovery. We do repair and overhaul of components, pneumatic and hydraulic. And we also have an extensive line maintenance operation across 17 stations here in the US. Now, as many companies had the same issue during and after COVID, it's really around not just supply chain, but it's also about retention. And it's about the famous pipeline of talent and making sure that we have enough opportunity to bring on people, deliver experience to people, and show that we can actually have a development plan and keep people occupied and, let's say, usefully employed in our great aviation business. And so I'm delighted that I'm joined today by Vanessa Thomas and also Larry Rice and Kenneth Wilkerson from the San Bernardino Valley College. And in order to keep the talent of Pipeline created and going, we embarked together with the college on the apprenticeship scheme. And the apprenticeship scheme was intended to bring on 15 students who were doing their A&P license and give them real-time experience on real aircraft that we were working for our real customers, and have them working alongside our experienced A&P technicians and inspectors, and really give them the opportunity of not only getting into this great industry of ours, but also thriving and developing in it. And with that, we're also keeping our own pipeline of talent alive. I'm delighted to say that we're actually at the point where we've now got 32 of these students who are embarked on the program. That's great. So they're involved in the aviation maintenance technician degree. They're doing their A&P license. And with our scheme, they get 70 hours towards their license requirements. So they're doing everything because it's real aircraft in real time with real customers. They're doing everything from sheet metal, avionics, troubleshooting, and all of the different pieces of activity that's going to allow them to accelerate and become technicians for the future, not only for CAS, but also for the aviation industry at large, because there's no doubt that the industry is suffering from a talent shortage and a retention issue following the COVID environment. The intention is that we're going to be pushing our people into different parts of the CAS organization because, as I said before, we have the worldwide GO team where we do aircraft repair and recovery, detailed surgery on an aircraft. We also have the line maintenance and we have component repairs. So this is a scheme that I'm very, very proud of that we've embarked on. It's grown much bigger and much quicker than we'd planned to. And I'm absolutely very grateful to Vanessa and her team from the San Bernardino Valley College. And we look forward to extending this to other colleges in the area and bringing on more young talent and giving great opportunities for people from the San Bernardino environment. Mr. Chairman, thank you very much.
And thank you for your words on this program. What is the title of the class that these students are attending?
The title is Aviation Maintenance Technician degree.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Any questions or comments from commissioners?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Oliver, welcome to San Bernardino. It's a delight to see you, and your investment here in our community is substantial, and I want to send my deep appreciation to David Brown for his awesome work. I know that he's been on the ground along with Vanessa Thomas and others at Valley College. What a wonderful opportunity it is and a career path. As I see it here in the city of San Bernardino, we need substantial and substantive programs such as this, and I'm very grateful. And we're fortunate to have this program, and we thank you for your investments here in our city and our airport. So thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, and thank you for the partnership with San Bernardino.
Right. Any other comments from commissioners? Okay. Again, thank you very much for your comments and the information you brought forth. Look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right.
And well done. From the staff perspective, I can say that many have tried what you've just accomplished.
Yes.
Multiple attempts that I've seen since the mid-1990s, and you're the first ones to get it over the goal line, so congratulations. Thank you for that hard work. If I could now indulge Mr. Huber, we have yet again a opportunity to talk about the meeting format, given all of the shall we say, clarity out there on
Right.
this process?
Right. As you all know, if in order to meet via Zoom and sort of what I'll call in the format, the pandemic format, as I sometimes call it, every month every public agency that wants to meet in that format needs to pass a resolution or approve findings along the following lines, and we have previously approved these findings to hold meetings in lieu of traditional in-person public meetings or in addition to public meetings to allow individuals to participate remotely. There are two things that need to be done. One is that the finding needs to be made that there must be a state of emergency, which we currently have. The governor has not lifted the state of emergency. And item number two is that the meeting must be that the elected officials must recommend that we do this to promote social distancing and to promote recommended measures to prevent infection, or by a majority vote that there are imminent risks in meeting in person. I don't think we have imminent risks at the moment for meeting in person, so the option we have is item number one, which is that the local officials would impose or recommend measures to promote social distancing. And that's what we've been doing before. So if this commission finds that you want to still continue to meet, we do need to approve these findings that the governor still has his emergency order in place, which he does, and that you would like to continue with the remote meeting format to promote social distancing measures.
I'll take comments from commissioners.
Personally, I think we need to get back in person. I don't know that we have social issues or, but
No, the.
My comment.
Right, the county of San Bernardino has lifted all the requirements, all the restrictions, right? So I think that if we follow the restrictions, follow suit with the county of San Bernardino, that we would be in a good place. And if something else comes up, we can easily revert back once our local government, the county government establishes something from their public health officer, that we can revert back to what we need to be. Any other comments from commissioners?
So you just need consensus from the commission, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So do we need,
You don't need a vote, we just needed the feedback. And
okay,
so we're
then
good.
that's your feedback and your direction, that we not go with the, now, there is one thing that I want to bring up, and I almost forgot. We do have people that live in, one person that lives in a far outlying area, and under 361, we can set up a hybrid to allow that person to hold a meeting at a location in their jurisdiction or their place of residence or their place of business.
That is still possible. We will just need to publish the address in the agenda as to
Publish
where
the
that.
address in the agenda, and then make sure that the person that's going to be virtual, hybrid virtual, that agenda be posted
At that location.
at that location, and whether it's a city hall or whatever, that there be enough space for those that would like to attend the meeting in person there.
Correct.
So that's I think what I would like for us to follow.
Yeah, that was always available under the Brown Act even
Right.
before the pandemic, and so
Right.
so if you don't want to make the findings that are here, then we can always do that.
Yes. All right.
Okay.
We can do that.
Duly noted, we appreciate
Thank you.
that. So obviously you won't see this on the forthcoming agenda.
Right.
So it saves space, we appreciate that.
I have
Yes.
a question. I sit on a lot of different boards that all hassle over this issue. And one of them said that inconvenience and distance is an illegitimate reason to set up a peripheral site. But if it's allowed under the Brown Act, then I don't know why that would be disallowed.
So there is a tension there. The AB 361 did not consider convenience. It only considered necessity. Necessity and to promote social distancing. My argument in that situation, if someone wanted it for personal convenience, then if the resolution had still been passed, you're still technically complying with the letter of the law, but not necessarily the spirit of the law. But if you want to comply with the letter and the spirit, then go ahead and publish the address.
Okay. All right.
All
Thank
right,
you.
and then if it pleases the commission, I just have one more on legislative updates. As you're all aware, our federal government did ultimately approve an omnibus bill recently, and that has, thankfully, more funding for the airport improvement program with some, very interesting and new allocations for airport terminals and control towers and things of that nature. So I've got to say our grant writer, Ms. Miriam Beltran, is busier than I've seen her in a long time, trying to prep to get all of these dollars. Department of Transportation has a sizable allocation, and we're certainly appreciative of that. Also, while we're appreciating things, I wanted to thank all of you for your rapid support of our Small Community Air Service Development Grant. We didn't have a lot of time, we had to move fast, but amongst a lot of other partners and stakeholders, we were able to get 34 support letters, which typically the average is 12 to 15. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And that'll look, I think, very good. Senator Feinstein's just came in yesterday, so she came to our aid as well. We are going to be pursuing other opportunities. Doesn't mean we get awards, but if you don't ask, you don't get. So again, that concludes my report.
Okay, and also, Mike, under informational items, you and I had discussed a budget workshop
Yes, yes.
between this meeting and the next board meeting.
Absolutely, and
Yeah.
in talking with the president, obviously you can see on this agenda, we've got a lot of actions and preparations on the horizon here, moving quickly to get ready for our commercial passenger service, and more than appropriate, and we will be polling you for your attendance for a special meeting specific to the budget, not only currently, but forecast with the other expenses, but also the revenues on the other side. So you can see both sides of the ledger. Unfortunately, Mr. Cousineau could not be with us today. He is still recovering from an ailment, and we would certainly want him in attendance at that. But
Definitely want him to be.
We wish Mark the best and miss him. So.
Okay, so staff will send out an invite to all the commissioners?
Absolutely. It would be a
asking-
public meeting. It would be a special meeting, but it would be posted, and the clerk of the board will be polling you for
availability.
dates. And
Okay.
the only item would be budget workshop,
Okay,
so we can just focus on that.
Good.
all right, so let's look at our calendars and see our availability, so when the invite comes out. Okay, thank you. All right, thank you, Mr. Burrows. Moving on to commission consent items.
Move it.
Second.
Rigsby moved?
Chair, I'd like to pull item 5.
Okay. Our secretary would like to pull item number 5.
And, Mr. Chair, question on number 13.
Question on 13 from Mayor Valdivia. Any others? Hearing none. Madam Secretary, go ahead.
Thank you. I'll direct this to you, Mike. So reading number 5, I've been on this board for a while. I've never heard anything about us bringing in a dog.
Never
And
done
to
it.
put it on a consent calendar without having any kind of discussion, I like a little more transparency. Can you just talk a little bit about it, where the dog's staying and how we came up with this?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so I'll touch on this, and then I'll have Nick, go through, more of the particulars. So, being that we are a much busier commercial airport, and given that FAA has had many, many updates to their regulations related to wildlife management, we have a wildlife management plan that is federally regulated, and it includes a number of mitigation
Is it a
procedures.
mandated plan?
It is a mandated plan. And the reason you've never seen one like this before, we've never done it. And so this is brand new. And Nick, can you give the background on how we got to a canine?
Yeah, and thank you. So we've seen an increase in wildlife strikes out on the airport. So to address them, we're looking at a multitude of efforts that we can apply and new techniques. What we've tried in the past has been successful for a while, but now we do have a number of new species that have made their way to SBD. So in conjunction with our FAA-approved airport wildlife biologists, we looked at different options to mitigate against wildlife strikes. This was a unique opportunity. We had them come out and demonstrate the effectiveness of the dog. Again, it's a working dog. This is a tool in operations toolbox to prohibit and minimize the impacts. As we all know, wildlife strikes can cause substantial damage to person and property. And so we want to try and mitigate that. So again, the cost includes the delivery of an initial veteran dog in their kennel. And then 6 months later, after they've gone through intensive training in North Carolina, we'll get our permanent dog delivered. At that point, we get 1 week on-site training. The training curriculum is specific to SBD. It is not a off-the-shelf airport training. It is specific to SBD. The training materials that will be developed are from the actual on-site visit from that week. And then again, it goes on for a lifetime consultation. There's warranties included. Bigger airports such as Fort Myers, Charles Yeager, multiple military airfields, they've used this kind of tool very, very effectively. So we're, again, trying to be proactive in minimizing harm out on the airfield.
Gotcha. So And the dog will stay here in a kennel, and then we take care of the dog here?
That's right. So they recommend between 5 and 7 full-time handlers. So that will be a rotated shift depending on who's on shift. The dog stays at the airport, will be permanent resident here at SBD.
When does the dog go out and do the management of the wildlife?
So that's
All day?
That'll be part of the SOP that'll be delivered once they're on site and can really understand our needs. But they do have a downtime requirement at night for 8 straight hours. They are not to be interrupted in their rest. So it works a normal shift just like a human, except it's a canine.
Okay, because I know there's some basins, water basins going in around town, and I'm just curious if that water will, because that's in the flight pattern, if that will attract this wildlife as well. So, I mean, where do we stop with?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't hear it. I've never known about this, and I like it. I understand the concept, but I was wanting a little more information.
Sure, happy to provide it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Rigsby?
I was just wondering if the dogs are heat certified.
Thanks. During the demonstration, we did bring up that issue. I wanted to be upfront with summertime heat that can occur here. They assured us that the dogs will be acclimated, including booties, for example, for the paws between the stickers out there and the heat on the ramp.
Sure.
We'll make sure that the pet is not in distress.
So Nick, I just have to ask, are you going to get the dog an ops, official ops shirt?
Have to.
So I have a question on the handling of the dog during the shift periods. Where's the staffing for that going to come from?
That'll be our on-duty operations officers. So we currently cover, 18 hours of the day. So there's overlap there already built into the schedule.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments or questions on it? All right. Next, we have item number 13, Mr. Valdivia.
Thank you. The item is to approve a cooperative purchase agreement with Staples Contract for 60 months, for a period not to exceed 60 months. My question, Mr. Burrows, why so long, 60 months?
It was negotiated. Mr. Cousineau, Chantil, in our purchasing department are in this effort are essentially trying to streamline some of the more common purchases that we do as organizations. And we actually got the best pricing if we did up to 60 months. We don't have to go 60 months, but that was sort of the sweet spot that Mark had identified for the best cost benefit. That's where it comes from.
Are there any penalties if we were to sever contract before the 60?
No.
But we still are afforded the
You
60-month
still
contract
get the
pricing?
value, but you could still terminate.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions on any item on the consent calendar? Okay. Seeing none, I have a motion by Councilmember Rigsby and Mayor Valdivia to approve the consent calendar items 3 through 18. No changes to the items brought for question. Madam, do a roll call vote, please.
Yes, so we have a motion by Member Rigsby and a second by Member Valdivia to approve the consent calendar items. Please state your vote for the record. Member Navarro?
Yes.
Member Rigsby?
Yes.
Member Baca?
Buckeye.
Member Lilburn?
Yes.
Member Valdivia?
Yes.
And Member Figueroa? Is he still on the line? He might not be. All right.
See his camera on, but I don't see him.
I think he might have logged off. Member Charette, would you mind voting in his stead?
I'm okay with the consent calendar.
All right, thank you very much. The items pass unanimously.
Thank you very much. Moving on to commission action items. Item number 19 is to consider and adopt proposed budget adjustments for fiscal year 2021-2022. And this was to be presented by Mr. Cousineau, but I think Mr. Burrows is going to handle it.
Yes, I don't have my wingman, so I'll wing it. Bear with me here. So obviously with all of the moving parts that we're navigating at this point, there's a number of time-sensitive purchases. particularly on the equipment side, because those are long lead specialty items. Normally, we would, essentially get authorization and all those things to bid, but we had to utilize the expedited processes in our existing policies. So on the top side, you'll see some new revenues. They're the same categories, but with the increase in activity, both in air cargo, general aviation, and now future air passenger service, we know that we're going to be doing better in the fuel sales category, thankfully. Couldn't come at a better time because Mr. Barrow is wrapping up the new fuel farm expansion. And then we have additional support services that our fixed base operator provides to the aircraft while they're here. We get compensated for that. In the expenditure side, we need to increase the allocation on operations expenses. And these are related to a number of the contract services we need to be able to ensure that the terminal, the jet bridges, as well as the outreach on air service support for the new route can be funded, at least through the end of this fiscal, and then we will update forecast for your forthcoming budget for next fiscal. We additionally also have contract services for airline support. These are things like having to do updated markings on the pavement in front of the terminal as the gate positions, given the category of aircraft we know are coming. And those are, obviously not extraordinary expenses, but they do add up, and we need to make sure that the budget can support that. The IT equipment and communications, this is inside the building, and this is where we've got a number of items coming up that needed to be acquired quickly so that we're ready for opening day. These are flight information displays, baggage information displays, ticket counter software, radios, communications, those types of expenses. And then the engineering side, a number of the off airport and adjacent walkways, handicap accessibility needs to be completely assessed to ensure we are in tip-top shape. So we are asking for an increase there. In wildlife management, obviously, as Nick said, we did have to expand our scope there to meet the additional demand of the particularly bird activity that we've been seeing. So that corresponds with the consultative effort needed to update the plan itself so we stay compliant with FAA. Legal expenses, we have been very active this year, as in prior years, on collections with our various vendors and tenants. And so our special counsel does need an increase to get through the end of fiscal. And then our operations officers, given the airline activity, they will be needing some additional office within the terminal itself, and that means we need to move, some facilities around so our operations officers have a fully functional operations center within the terminal. And so that's changing some doors around, getting some furniture and equipment so they can run the 24/7 shop that they do. And then finally, terminal improvements. These are things that Mr. Barrow's got to do to make sure, for instance, restrooms are up to check, lighting meets current standards, and everything is code compliant today. We just make sure that we're not missing anything, so that not only it's fully functional, but it's a pleasurable experience for the customers. And we know it will be, but we've got to get on it fast. And then fuel and lubricants, with the additional aircraft activity, obviously when aircraft and ground handling equipment are being actively utilized, they take more fluids. So the FBO does need an increase there. So with that, I'll answer any other questions.
Comments or questions from commissioners on this item? Okay, moving on to item number 20.
Oh, we do
I'm
need
sorry.
a motion.
Sorry.
Excuse me.
So moved.
I'm sorry.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion by Supervisor Baca and a second by Secretary.
Thank you. I will go ahead and call roll. We have a motion by Member Baca and a second by Member Lilburn. Please state your vote for the record. Member Navarro,
Yes.
Member Rigsby,
Yes.
Member Baca,
Hawkeye.
Member Lilburn,
Here, yes.
Member Valdivia,
Yes.
and Member Shrek.
Yes.
Thank you. The item passes unanimously.
Thank you very much, and I apologize for the little hiccup. You get so involved in the conversation, you kind of just move forward. Anyway, moving on to item number 20. This is to approve amendment number 2 to the professional services agreement with LSA Associates Incorporated in an amount of $96,845, not to exceed $200,000 for wildlife hazard assessment. Presenting on this will be Nicolas Person.
Thank you, Mayor. Going along with the theme of wildlife mitigation, this is to approve an amendment number 2 with LSA Associates, which is our designated airport wildlife biologist. I came to the board in January for the initial amendment number 1. At the time, we had concurrence from the FAA that the scope of the wildlife hazard assessment was appropriate. Through subsequent communications with our certificate inspector from the FAA, he had additional requirements that he wanted addressed. So that is addressing those, and the increase of 96,845 would carry LSA Associates through the wildlife hazard assessment, which is a 12-month field study of current condition, after which we will have an updated wildlife hazard management plan. Thank you.
Move for approval.
Mayor Valdivia moves for approval. Councilmember Rigsby seconds. Any other comments or questions from commissioners? If not, Madam Clerk, you would do roll call, please.
Yes, we have a motion by Member Valdivia and a second by Member Rigsby. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro.
Yes.
Member Rigsby.
Yes.
Member Baca.
Buckeye.
Member Lilburn.
Yes.
Member Valdivia.
Yes.
And Member Charette.
Yes.
Thank you. The item passes unanimously.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 21. This is awarded construction contract to Jurgensen Construction Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $27,331.63 for the Terminal Operations Office Doors Project. Mr. Barrow.
Thank you, Mayor. The purpose of this project is to increase the office workspace. Staff requested proposals from 3 different contractors. Jurgensen Construction was the lowest bidder for this project. Staff recommends the commission approve the above recommendation. Action. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions or commissioners? Chair will entertain a motion.
Move it.
Mr. Rigsby moves the item.
Second.
Second by Supervisor Baca. Any public comment? I'm sorry, I've been
We
public
do
comment.
not. I have none in front of me and none on Zoom.
Thank you. Do a roll call vote, please.
Yes, we have a motion by Member Rigsby and a second by Member Baca. Members, please state your vote for the record. Navarro.
Yes.
Member Rigsby.
Yes.
Member Ralph. Excuse me, Member Baca.
Buckeye.
Member Lilburn.
Yes.
Member Valdivia.
Yes.
And Member Shrek.
Yes.
Thank you. The item passes unanimously.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 22. This is to ratify an agreement with Airwave Communications in the amount of $156,552.19 with a 5% contingency not to exceed $7,827 for the installation and configuration of Motorola UHF radio system. Mr. Mark Dennis.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This item is requesting ratification of an agreement with Airwave Communications for the installation and configuration of a new Motorola UHF radio system. The agency's existing radio system has been the communications backbone for operations of the airport. For the last few years, replacement of that system has been considered but deferred. Now it has exceeded its useful life. Staff recommends you approve.
Move it.
Motion by Mayor Valdivia,
Second.
second by Councilmember Rigsby. Public comment?
No public comment.
Okay.
We have a motion by Member Valdivia and a second by Member Rigsby. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro.
Yes.
Member Rigsby.
Yes.
Member Baca.
Buckeye.
Member Lilburn.
Yes.
Member Valdivia.
Yes.
And Member Charette.
Yes.
Thank you. That item passes unanimously.
Moving on to item number 23, this is to approve an agreement with American Security Group in the amount of $144,275.59 with a 10% contingency of $14,427 for installation of terminal paging system. Mr. Mark Dennis, please.
The paging system in the domestic terminal was originally installed over 14 years ago and has passed the end of its useful life. Parts for the system are no longer available. It is no longer supported by the manufacturer, and the system lacks modern paging features to properly support terminal functions required by the TSA, airline, and airport staff. Staff recommends approving an agreement with American Security Group for the installation of that new terminal paging system.
Comments or questions from commissioners? Public comment?
No public comment.
I'll move the item, please.
I have Ms. Littleburn to approve the item. Chair will entertain a second.
Second.
Second by Mayor Valdivia. Madam Clerk, please.
We have a motion by Member Littleburn and a second by Member Valdivia. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro,
Yes.
Member Rigsby,
Yes.
Member Baca,
Buckeye.
Member Littleburn,
Yes.
Member Valdivia,
Yes.
and Member Charette.
Yes.
Thank you. The item passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to item number 24. This is an agreement to approve an agreement with SBIAA Incorporated in the amount of $310,348 with a 5% contingency of $15,517 for installation of parking lot revenue control system at the SPD domestic terminal. Mark Dennis.
Moving forward, the parking control system will need to employ technologies that are expected at airports today. The original system not only lacks those, but has not been supported and has had no available replacement parts for many years. An agreement with SBIAA will provide a system that will be customer-friendly and allow staff to perform all necessary management and maintenance tasks. Again, staff recommends approval of the item.
Thank you. Public comment?
No public comments.
Chair will entertain a motion.
So move.
Question?
Question. My question is, how much revenue are we anticipating, and are we going to lose money on parking?
With the initial flight activity of 126 seats per aircraft, parking revenues will not be exorbitant, but because the parking lots are bought and paid for, everything that we generate is net free cash flow in those lots. We're not intending, as modern airports, to staff the lots. These are automated controls, so the overhead in managing that revenue is much, much less than it used to be. But Mr. Gibbs, I don't know if you've done any updated numbers on the parking.
It's excuse me. It's a little early for the projections, but to Mike's point, this is an efficient system, and the intent is to keep the costs low as revenue grows over time. And one of the attractive things about SPD is just that, like Mike said, the lots are bought and paid for. Our goal is to grow traffic initially. In time, revenue will become, this will become one of the largest revenue sources for the airport in time, but that is certainly not initially as the market builds and people find the value of flying out of San Bernardino that include low parking rates. That's the intent out of the gate.
And we can put a sign up saying, guaranteed parking spot.
Yeah, definitely for opening day. So our posted rate is $5 a day?
$5 a day. It's hard to beat that anywhere in Southern California.
Yep. We're going to get a bunch of people parking just because they like the price of our
It's
parking.
a parking spot.
And they don't care about the airport.
It could happen. But to that point, our airport security is getting, ready as well to be able to increase patrols, and that will need to be done because we will have people undoubtedly trying to get into non-terminal parking lots, and we need to make sure that they're properly guided and redirected to, if they're getting on aircraft, to park in the terminal parking lot. So all those wheels are in motion as we speak.
And of course, this is just the beginning. As more airlines come to San Bernardino, we'll of course see an increase in that demand. Mayor Valdivia, did you have a question?
A couple of observations on this item. First off, if you notice items number 19 through 24 on today's agenda, all are a particular value of the increase in the growth spurt here at the San Bernardino International Airport. I'm really excited to be part of this, and I want to compliment our staff and our team here for making those vast improvements as I see the property airport. I'll continue to monitor and drive it with Mr. Burrows and his staff, but I want to compliment the team here for the good work that you're doing. A couple of further comments on this parking matter. We may want to consider valet parking. I think if we're only having one flight a day, you might want to incorporate some type of valet parking as part of this $5 fee. I mean, it's going to be a loss leader, so let's be as convenient and red carpet as we can to that first Breeze Airways. Valet parking, it's easy, it's simple. I think it's the perfect opportunity, and still charge them the $5 or whatever dollar amount that the Nexus report would suggest for it. But I think that's a convenient opportunity. I've experienced that at other airports, and it's just a fantastic opportunity. It's a great tool in our belt to offer as we experience growth here. Secondly, I would encourage that our staff and security continue those patrols as we ramp up for service. In addition, the parking lot lights, I want to ensure that the lights have adequate coverage and that the bulbs have been replaced and that there's no burnt out or wire copper theft. We need to start planning now so that we can have a seamless transition in for our parking lot and security safety. But that would be my recommendation, is that valet parking. Why not?
Yeah,
you know,
it's a great idea.
that's the add value to come to San Bernardino. That's part of your parking fee. We'll park it here on the terminal parking as part of it. But some suggestions for you, and I appreciate you. Thank you, Mike.
Great idea. Mark and I will get special hats.
All right, thank you very much, Mayor Valdivia. So I have a motion by Supervisor Baca to approve item number 24. Chair will entertain a second.
Second.
Mayor Valdivia seconds. And we have public comment?
No public comments.
Thank you. If you will do the vote, please.
We have a motion by Member Baca and a second by Member Valdivia. Please state your votes for the record. Member Navarro?
Yes.
Member Rigsby?
Yes.
Member Baca?
Buckeye.
Member Lilburn?
Yes.
Member Valdivia?
Yes.
And Member Charette.
Yes.
Thank you. That item passes unanimously.
Okay. Moving on to item 25, but I'm going to, can we move 26 before yours, Mike?
Sure. Pleasure of the commission.
All right, so I'm going to move item number 26, the added item, before we have our Chief Executive Officer status of action plan. So item number 26, and that's to adopt a resolution number 2022-02 of the San Bernardino International Airport Authority, making certain findings in support of 3rd Street Corridor Roadway Rehabilitation Project, 3rd Street Corridor Roadway Rehabilitation Project. And Mr. Burrows.
So the reason this is an added item is Senator Feinstein and Senator Padilla's office just informed us of this opportunity this morning. We thank them for that because it's a great opportunity. You'll recall that we did something similar a little over a year ago on our runway repair project. We requested a community project funding request, and Congressman Aguilar thankfully carried that through for us in the omnibus bill. That $1 million that we requested was included. So the House and the Senate did approve that request. And so we're back at the table with another shovel-ready project. And this one we're requesting your support both for community project funding, but also what the Senate side refers to as congressionally directed spending funds. And in a few years ago, we would call this an earmark, okay? And as many of you know, we got a number of those over the years and put them to good use. So this project is a portion of the 3rd and 5th Street corridor, and certainly our colleagues at the Inland Valley Development Agency know this map because we just looked at it a few weeks ago. Many of our longer-term members will recall that there was a point in time where we had actually received a Tiger grant to construct, this corridor, and I certainly wish we were able to keep it, but unfortunate circumstances resulted in those monies flowing back to DOT. The good part of that experience, if you can call it a good part, is we completely entitled through both NEPA and CEQA all of the improvements to get to ultimate width. So we're talking curb, gutters, sidewalks, street lights, where bike lanes are called for in the general plans, bike lanes would be included. So it's a great opportunity, and there are some limits on the caps on this go-around, so it's about $2.5 million would be the upside ask. We may go up to 3 in the request. We're going to work with our federal advocates on where they think the right sweet spot is. But that's the range we need to be able to finish this segment. So the portion we're requesting for your support in this particular request is from Victoria west to Del Rosa. So this would be all of the frontage on the airport property. And it's important that we keep it close to the airport with this ask because there's some limitations on where you can expend airport dollars. It needs to be for the benefit of airport property. And we will also make a request as staff for the IVDA board to make a similar finding to support this effort. But since y'all were so good at getting us support letters on the other grant, if it's not too much to impose, we would be back asking for similar support letters from your jurisdictions because that's a big part of what we need to do this. And no pressure, we've got to submit it by next Friday. So they didn't give us a lot of time. So I will be literally driving to city halls for the next week with letter requests in hand. But that's the ask for today.
Okay, do you have a template for that support letter?
I sure do. I sure do. And I will share that with all of you and your city managers and staff as soon as we get done editing it. Right, Michelle? So it's on my screen right now. So.
All right, thank you very much. Any comments or questions on item 26? Any public comment?
No public comments.
The chair will entertain a motion to adopt resolution number 2022-02.
I'll move
it.
Who was that, please?
Fred.
Was that?
Charette moved it.
Okay, Fred. Okay, thank you, Mr. Charette. Chair will entertain a second.
Second. Valdivia.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
All right. It looks like we have a motion by Member Charette and a second by Member Valdivia. Members, please state your vote for the record. Member Navarro?
Yes.
Member Rigsby?
Yes.
Member Baca?
Buckeye.
Member Lilburn?
Aye.
Member Valdivia?
Yes.
And Member Charette.
Yes.
Thank you. The item passes unanimously.
All right, thank you. Reverting back to item number 25. This is a review status of the action plan for San Bernardino International Airport Authority through 6/30/2022. Mr. Burrows, you will please.
So I don't need to rehash this, I think. I think you've been legislated enough. And as we get more updates on funding opportunities, certainly share that with you all as they come up. Operationally, though, I don't want to discount this by any stretch. Ms. Pritchett has been extremely busy, her and her talented team, hiring. And I want to commend her and her entire staff. They have been doing a great job of getting us where we need to be on the personnel side. So thank you, Kat. She hit an all-time record and had 5 hires in 1 day. So congratulations.
Wow.
But she's not done. And
Nice.
that concludes our report. By April, we'll have quarterly financials and hopefully good news on grant apps out on the street. So,
Okay.
thank you.
All right, thank you. We have already taken care of item J with the added and deferred items, so we're done with that. We move on to item K, open session public comment. Madam Clerk?
We have no public comments. I have no slips in front of me, and I see none on Zoom.
Nothing? Okay. Commission member comments? Nope. Okay. There be no other business to attend to for SBIAA. This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you. Thank you very much.
They want to do airport operations.